Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're asking the insane question, is Trevon Diggs the next Deion Sanders? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. It helps me out a lot. So as most of you know, Trevon Diggs has taken the NFL by storm so far in the 2021 NFL season with 7 interceptions, tying the NFL record with 6 straight games with interceptions. He looks like the runaway defensive player of the year and is turning into a superstar for the Dallas Cowboys. So how did he fall to the second round of the NFL draft and get overlooked by so many teams? Is he the best cornerback we've seen since Deion Sanders? Let's take a look back and see how Trevon got here. Trevon Diggs was born on September 20th, 1997 in Gaithersburg, Maryland, where he grew up with his 2 brothers, Derez and Stephon. And yes, that is the Stephon Diggs, who is currently one of the best wide receivers in the league playing for the Buffalo Bills. In high school, Trevon Diggs would end up playing both defensive back and wide receiver. As a junior, he would come up with 78 receptions for 1,008 yards and 15 touchdowns, while as a senior, he would have 1,269 yards receiving, becoming a 2-time All-Washington, D.C. Metro player. After his great performances in high school, he was listed as a 4-star receiver for the class of 2016 and was offered by 19 colleges. But his senior year, he would commit to the Alabama Crimson Tide over other schools like Auburn and Clemson. So how would he play at Alabama?
3rd and 3, and another interception. He threw it right to Diggs. And Diggs, who had a fumble recovery for a touchdown last week, has a pick 6 this week. Touchdown, Bama.
Yeah, so he was recruited as a wide receiver, but as you can see, he would eventually switch over and play defensive back. Now as a freshman, Diggs played in 14 games, catching 11 passes for 88 yards and 1 touchdown, and he also played some safety, and he was also a return specialist. But going into his sophomore season, Nick Saban decided to switch Trevon to cornerback full-time. Saban suggested to Diggs that he make the switch, and Diggs said, quote, "I was hurt at first, honestly, and it made me cry." Diggs wanted to be a star receiver, but he went to work and accepted the decision. Saban said Diggs was a really good receiver, but he knew he would be a great corner with an NFL type of future. And on top of this, Saban didn't actually force Diggs into doing it, but Diggs took his advice and began to work on his new position. Now, skipping forward to his senior year in 2019, Diggs would actually end up with 37 tackles and 3 interceptions, as again, he had more years in practice under Saban in Alabama to learn the defensive position. He played well in college, but it was obvious he had to keep learning his new position and keep improving each year, but overall, he was extremely athletic, and Saban told NFL scouts that Diggs would play well in the next level. In the 2020 NFL Draft, Diggs would fall all the way to the 51st overall pick and be chosen in the 2nd round by the Dallas Cowboys. Back then, opinions were a bit all over the place. Some saw it as a reach and some saw it as an absolute steal. Which would it turn out to be? Well,
it's deep downfield and it's going to be picked off. Diggs, his 2nd of the game.
As a rookie in the 2020 NFL season, Diggs would be a part of one of the worst defenses in NFL history. However, he started to come along as the year went by, and he actually ended up finishing the season playing in 12 games, finishing with 57 tackles, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, along with 1 forced fumble. He definitely showed flashes of his talent and looked to be a solid pickup for Dallas, especially for being a 2nd round pick. Now, going into the 2021 NFL season, the Cowboys actually hired new defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. It seemed like there was nowhere to go but up for the Dallas defense after last season's horrendous year. So how would Diggs play in his sophomore season?
Hurts the throw, it's picked off. It's Trevon Diggs down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. House call. Trevon Diggs, pick 6.
Well, Diggs has become one of the best cornerbacks in the league and plays with an insanely aggressive mindset and is always looking for the football. He's definitely what you would call a ball hawk. This has led to Trevon Diggs, as I mentioned earlier in the video, tied the NFL record with interceptions in 6 straight games. He now has 7 in the first 6 games of the 2021 NFL season, helping Dallas get to their current 5-1 record and has them looking like actual Super Bowl contenders along with Dallas's high-powered offense. So the comparison, is Trevon the next Deion Sanders? Well, some might be annoyed by this question, but Deion only had 8 interceptions in his first 2 seasons. Trevon now has 10 in his first 18 NFL games. That's just one game over what one true season would be for Trevon. He's on an insane pace and might even break the record of 14 interceptions in a single season. We also have a 17-game regular season now, which gives him another game and just that much more opportunity to do this. Now, Deion was one of the greatest players of all time, especially one of the greatest defensive players of all time. And of course, he had the nickname that we all know and love, Primetime. However, he was drafted 5th overall and was taken as a defensive player. Diggs, however, he played at receiver and is still probably not even at his full potential. Just think about that for a second. That honestly has to be terrifying for opposing quarterbacks. Now, to be fair to Diggs, he has been burned a few times for big plays and touchdowns due to that aggressive nature of his, but he is by all means turning into a prime-time player. He's becoming one of the most fun cornerbacks to watch since Deion Sanders, and the best is yet to come. Now, of course, Deion also played some receiver in Atlanta, and he was also a great returner, but Trevon is focusing on becoming the best defensive back he can be. Is Trevon currently a shutdown cornerback? I don't know if I would go that far yet, but he improves each and every week, and he's only 24 years old, and again, has only played in 18 games so far in his NFL career. Will he help the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl like Deion? Deion Sanders was known as a quote-unquote shutdown corner, and I don't think Diggs is there yet, but so far, I mean, he's impressive and he's on an insane career trajectory, and if he can even hit half of his performance going forward, then I think the results will speak for themselves. Let me know in the comments down below what you think Trevon Diggs' full potential is. Will he be a 9-time All-Pro like Deion Sanders, or is Diggs just a one-year wonder? Yes, his aggressive play will hurt at times, but with this performance, it's hard to argue against his potential and talent and his outlook for the future. I think Trevon was an absolute steal for the Dallas Cowboys as a second-round draft pick, and I can't wait to see the rest of his career unfold. Will Trevon Diggs be the next Deion Sanders? I think we'll all find out pretty soon.
2nd and 15. Quick throw, and it's intercepted. He's got another one, and he's got a field ahead of him. Diggs is going to take it to the end zone. Unbelievable. Just when you think things are going your way, New England's going to stop and do something right. The fumble in week 1. The end of the game against Tampa, the tip ball, this field goal, they do it right. The breaks are going your way. And then Diggs, the most interceptions in the NFL. You can't have a tip ball around him.
Make sure to like the video to help me with the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel for more NFL content. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.